Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy, Fortnite Dude. Today, I think I'll talk about, the Ryth drama. If you haven't heard, there's this YouTuber named Ryth, and he makes videos, I would say he's like an internet comedian, I would say. And I think most of my influence comes from Ryth. But lately he's been under a lot of drama for, suggestive thumbnails, and people are even saying he's a pedophile, which this is a very serious topic, so I will try not to make any humorous remarks. Okay, so part 1, is Ryth a pedophile? Well, I think he was more like a vigilante. He did expose a brain-rot animator named Shappy Sway for really suggestive content. And I would think that's a pretty good move on his part. And he also exposed many more predatory animators, such as Momo the Cat, and Epic Jenna, and etc. And he does make comedic jokes about this, but there are some concerns that his thumbnails were a little too inappropriate, and people thought that he was showing pornography to his mainly child audience. Honestly, I don't think he's trying to do this, and I actually think he's a pretty good guy, but I think one thing he could do is clean up his thumbnails, alright? He doesn't have to do, that sort of thing. He could just, have some, thumbnail saying, for example, a picture of Momo the Cat's homepage on YouTube, and then across his profile picture, exposed, with the animated photo of Ryth's PNG just doing the evil little smile. Alright, sorry for that. But yeah. Is Ryth a pedophile? Probably not. Number 2. Does he show inappropriate content to children? Well, in his own words, he shows it and does a negative light on it. So he shows it in a negative light. So he could say that the content is really bad and it shouldn't be up, and a lot of stuff like that. And yeah, I think that maybe Ryth should try and be more family friendly. He should try, but he should do a lot more censoring. And I think people are a little bit suspicious that they post on Spotify because he doesn't even have to censor it, because Spotify's rules are a lot more lenient. Honestly, I think there's also a lot of more reasons that he's posting on Spotify, he doesn't have to animate a thumbnail. He could just slap something just slap a plain thumbnail on the video. And honestly, he's kind of funny, and I wouldn't say he's a pedophile, no. But yeah. So yeah. What was I saying? So he also did give another YouTuber named Decept, permission to use his thumbnails. Some people think it's to broad out the inappropriate content to other children who might watch Decept. Honestly, I think that's wrong, partially because this thumbnail artist, like, his thumbnail artist, Numa, is, like, exceptionally good at art. So I would say that it's probably because of that, but if he really wanted to, he could just recommend Numa to Decept. Like, it's not that hard. Alright. So, yeah. Number 3. Why do people say that Ryth is a pedophile? Well, he does cover a lot of inappropriate brain rot channels like Shappy Sway or Momo the Cat, as I mentioned earlier. And he does not actually, endorse their content. Although he accidentally, alright, well, never mind. Although he did, accidentally popularize these channels along with Glider Guy, it's not exactly in a good light, as probably many of the videos have dislikes now, but what I'm trying to say is Ryth is not a pedophile, alright? I don't believe he's a pedophile. Maybe you do, but I don't. Alright? And